Today is Tuesday, December 20th. It is 8:12 p.m. I know I keep vlogging at night. So I am about to clean my apartment. I am tired of it looking like this. I know it is a contributing factor to why I'm not doing anything all day, every day. I just sit on my couch and do nothing. And I'm pretty sure it's because things are so dirty and so messy and it's overwhelming. So I'm going to clean. And I'm gonna show you my before. So this is the before. I know it's messy. I know I've given before cleanings before and then actually didn't clean, but I am planning on actually cleaning this time. But this is my before, at least of this living space, because this is where I sit most of the day. And yeah, it is the part that needs the most work. And then I need to mess with the kitchen. Yeah, kitchen needs done. It needs to be swept. And this stuff is fine. I have not done this. I might try to do some Just Dance later tonight, but yeah, we're gonna clean. I'm tired of this. My bathroom, my bedroom are okay, especially because I don't sit in there very often, but this space needs, something needs to be done about this space because I sit in here all day, and I know that this, or more specifically, this is my view. This is my view from where I sit during the day, and it's just such a mess. It's such a mess. So I think I'm actually going to, well, maybe I'll record some of it and I'll just put YouTube on my iPad. Because I was going to say, I think I'm going to watch YouTube or listen to YouTube while I do this, but I feel like I haven't been showing you guys much. So I feel like I should probably record myself doing at least a little bit of the cleaning. And more stuff has found its way to the floor. I feel like I should at least show you guys some of the cleaning and like put YouTube on my iPad so that I actually record some of this. But I'm gonna do that now, and then once I'm done cleaning, I think I'm gonna make dinner, and then after I eat dinner, I'm gonna do my present, which we are running out of. Yeah, that's what we're doing today. We're opening a gift. So after I almost fell and busted my ass, I started cleaning. So I think keeping up with cleaning is always difficult due to not only seasonal depression, because that always manages to hit me this time of year, but also due to probably my ADHD. I get distracted and I'll think, oh yeah, I'll do this later, but then I completely forget about it, and then I lose motivation, and it just ends up never getting done. So, and it's just a big cycle. It ends up just continuing to happen again and again and again, and then it piles up and I get overwhelmed, and then I don't even want to look at it, and then I do nothing all day, every day. And I want to put an end to that because I'm very tired of not doing anything, not being productive. So this is just a really quick after. I was actually starting to edit the vlog and realized I didn't film an after for the cleaning. This is trash that has to go out tomorrow, so ignore that. I haven't put this up yet, but it's a little bit better. There's not as much on the floor, and this is kind of cleaned off. Like, I took the plates off. The couch is still a wreck. The desk isn't as bad either. I took some of the stuff off and put some of the stuff away. The kitchen is still bad, but it's a little bit cleaner. It's a little tiny bit cleaner, and I can appreciate that much. So here I am slicing up some fruit that I've had in the fridge for about a week, maybe two, so that I can dry them and make ornaments out of them for my Christmas tree. And the fruit that I didn't slice correctly, I was putting into a simmer pot because I saw online that simmer pots with citrus in it were really good. Good for your house, good for smelling, all of that. So I was sticking all of the bits that I wasn't going to use into a simmer pot or into a plastic bag to cut more fruit to dry in, because I you know, I didn't use all of the fruit. Especially because my air fryer is so tiny, it's a 3-quart, so I can only fit 3 slices in there at a time. I think I put in an orange slice and then 2 lemon slices. So that was this little segment. I wanted to get them cut before they went bad. And yeah, this was actually really fun. It was really nice. I actually am now craving grapefruit really badly, and I might have to buy some for actual eating and eat them before they go bad. And this is just me adding the spices to the simmer pot. I added some cloves, and I didn't have very many left, so I ended up just using the entire bottle. And then I ended up using some cinnamon, and I dumped a ton in here. Oh my God. But this cinnamon, by the way, I don't use it for food because it came already opened and damaged, so I just use it in simmer pots now. And then this is just coffee beans, and I just ended up using the rest of them. I don't drink coffee. I bought them for smelling. Hey guys, it is 10:19 p.m. I've gotten a little bit of cleaning done, and about an hour ago I got a message on Facebook from my aunt saying that my grandma has died. And before there are any condolences in the comments, I would like to say that I don't quite know how I feel. I'm sure this is a generally normal feeling for most people who are told that a relative has passed. However, between autism, not really understanding my emotions or knowing how to process them, and it takes me a minute to figure out how I'm feeling about stuff, but also the very, very complicated relationship my grandma and I have had in the last 5 to 10 years. So, to bring us all the way back, she provided me with a lot of good memories. She provided me an escape from my parents during summers for the first 12 years of my life, not counting like infancy. Like my mom didn't hand me over to my grandmother. It was when I started school, so like 5 years old until I was 12. I was given some kind of escape from my parents every summer, which is like 2 or 3 months of the year. And I have good memories there. I remember going with her to work sometimes and collecting stamps. I remember we would paint a lot together. And if anything, she's a really big reason why I'm a creative person. We would paint together, we would do crafts together. There was, I don't have it anymore, but there was a little like clay, like air dry clay cat that I made with her. I had it for so long, but I don't know where it's gone. Gotten rid of a lot of my like childhood things. We, went on hikes together. Well, not hikes, we went on trails together. We did I have a lot of really good memories with my grandmother. However, from 13 forward, my dad started to demonize me a little bit to the family. He had been doing that for most of my life anyway, and I know why. I'm fairly certain as to why, but it's not something that I want to talk about, at least not today. But he spent a great deal of my life demonizing me, and it only got worse when I hit my teenagehood, when I hit puberty. Around that time, that's why I only went and spent summers with her until I was 12, because I started my period, and my hormones, my stress, the stuff going on at home, school, etc., all of that, and then moving. I made this major move when I was 12 as well. But anyway, that's besides the fact. Around 13 forward, my dad started to really demonize me to our family, more specifically to my grandmother. And she started treating me differently, and then she started being a little bit more calloused with me. And while she was still nice, it was just like there was an underlying like, not, I don't want to say resentment, but there was just an underlying, like, she just knew something was like off with me. And like, I remember there was this one time when I was like 15 and I think I cracked an egg in the sink. I don't know why. I was bored and waiting for us to go wherever we were going because my grandma was visiting, and I cracked an egg in the sink, and she apparently had gone to my mother crying, thinking that I was doing something demonic, when in reality I was bored and at the time had no access to a phone or internet or anything of that nature. At least, you know, not freely. So I don't know why I did that. It wasn't a crime. It wasn't anything demonic. I just cracked an egg in the sink and then put the shell down in the garbage disposal. No rhyme or reason, just fucking around. But like, that's just an example of what I mean by there was just this underlying, like, she just didn't like me, I guess. And that just continued all the way through my teenage years and early adulthood. I was kicked out of my parents' house. I just stopped really hearing from them. I heard from them a lot more and I saw them a lot more when I was living with my parents. But once my parents kicked me out, I didn't really see her as often. I didn't get to spend time with her because when my parents would go up to go visit them, I would go watch my parents' house and like take care of their cats, because it was like living alone, and especially because my parents lived in a luxury apartment. So it was like a nice little vacation to go live in their nice, clean, fancy apartment with all of our cats for a week or two while they visited my grandparents, but that meant I didn't get to see them. And then I moved to Oregon in 2019. I stayed there all through 2019 and didn't speak. I think I spoke to my grandma once during that time, and it was on the phone. I sent her an email, but I don't think she ever saw it. But I was going to be homeless, and I ended up having to move in with my grandparents because my parents didn't want to take me back in. So my grandma and my grandpa took me in, let me stay with them. Before I moved in with them, I let them know I was at my sickest point, by the way. I was my lowest weight. I was dealing with a lot of chronic illness issues. I was coming from across country. COVID was just beginning. Like, I was in rough shape. I was in very, very rough shape. And I was having issues with my behavioral stuff because I was just starting to realize and recognize the severity of the things that were going on with me at home when I was living with my parents as a minor. And so I was still processing that, and then having to go live with my father's mother, my grandma, that didn't make it very easy. So before I even moved in with them, I gave my grandma a warning. I was like, Grandma, please, like, just let me tell you, like, I like my alone time. I get sick really frequently. I can't always attend meals. There are a lot of things I can't eat. And I gave her a rundown of like all of my issues. I let her know what was going on. And she said, that is fine. I totally respect your boundaries that you're setting with me right now. And da-da-da-da-da, all that stuff. And so I moved in, and none of my boundaries were accommodated. My grandma also had a habit of telling me that something was gluten-free because at the time I couldn't eat gluten. I don't know what was wrong with me then, by the way, because I don't have celiac. My hemoglobin, whatever it's called, that is slightly elevated, so I do have an issue with gluten. But during that time period, I had much worse issues with gluten. I can eat gluten now, and it doesn't screw me up too bad, but then I could not eat anything with gluten in it because I felt like I was going to vomit every time. So she would tell me something didn't have gluten in it, and then I would eat it, and then later I would find out that there was gluten in it, and I would find out because I would get sick. And so she had a habit of telling me stuff was gluten-free when it wasn't, and she would often like invade my space and try to come and like bother me when I would tell her that I was sick. It was a whole big thing. So March rolls around, and my uncle, his wife, and her son are with us with their dog, and their dog is a big dog. Whatever kind of dog this is, it's the Marmaduke dog. I don't remember the breed, I forget the breed name, and I don't want to look it up. But they had this big, like 10-year-old Marmaduke dog. Nobody told me that they were staying the night, by the way. I thought they had left because my grandma had gone down to her room, my grandpa was upstairs watching TV, and it was quiet in the living room. So I figured they had left because nobody said bye to me. So I went upstairs and I was gonna go get a bottle of water and then start getting ready for bed. It was like 9:30 or 10. And I'm going upstairs, the living room is dark, so I'm like, whatever, all right. Then I see my uncle and his wife on the couch and her kid laying in the chair. I was like, oh, that's weird. There's literally a spare bedroom. Why are they sleeping here? So I was walking across the living room. The dog was on the other side of the living room, like away from me. But I walk by and the dog latches onto the back of my leg and bites me. And as I like pivot to try and like get the dog off of me, he bit me like under my butt, then on the back of my leg, and then my foot as I like pivoted. And I screamed because duh, I got bit by a very large dog and I weighed very little, so it hurt worse. And so I when my grandmother obviously heard me, so she came upstairs, I showed her my leg. At the time, I had very low blood pressure.
So, hi, editing me real quick. I just wanted to pop in here and tell you really fast why I was emphasizing this point so much. It's because when she had come back downstairs and she looked at it again, she accused me of making it worse myself by scratching it open and bruising myself to make it look worse than what it originally was. But because the dog bite was fresh and my blood pressure was so low at the time, it just didn't look bad at first. And then when I asked her why she thought that I would do that to myself, she proceeded to say, because you're sick in the head, with the most content I have ever heard in her voice before.
It took me a minute to start bleeding. I never bled immediately then. Like, I could get cut and sometimes I wouldn't even bleed at all, and then it would scab up later. So it didn't bleed immediately. And she looked at it in a low, like, lamp light and said, it's fine. And I was like, it's not fine. It's a dog bite. It hurts. It's punctured. Like, I feel it. It hurts. And she sent me away. So I hobbled my own butt across the living room down into the basement to get a bottle of water, back up the stairs, across the house, and down into my bedroom. And she was consoling my uncle's wife. And then I proceeded to call my mom and let her know that I had been bit by this dog. And it took an hour for anybody to come check on me. And when they and I'm on the phone with my mom begging her to have my dad, her son, call her and tell her, do not come talk to me because I'm very upset and I need my space to calm down before having any kind of conversation. And he didn't want to. He didn't want to do that. And it resulted in a really big fight because I got up and I locked my bedroom door because I didn't want people to talk to me. And when she came to my door and tried to talk to me, I said, please go away. I need space. And it ended up with her screaming and then breaking into my bedroom. And she then was she beelined over to me. I got up and moved away. Then she would follow me, and she kept doing that. And she kept cornering me, and I'm very triggered at this point and yelling, upset, etc. And it gets to the point where she ends up kicking me out, and this is on my birthday. And she sends me back to live with my abusive parents. And that was our very last interaction with each other. She proceeded to make me go stay with my cousin for a day and a half because she thought that I was going to hurt her for this. I have never in my life been violent to that woman. I have never been violent to anybody. And I know this was a result from my dad's demonizing of me. And it's upsetting. That was our very last interaction. Her making me go on my birthday, go stay with my cousin, and then shipping me off to go fly back to live with my abusive parents. She never contacted me again after that. She had my phone number for months before I changed it. She never contacted me. She never reached out. None of that. And then I found out I think earlier this year, that her dementia was getting really bad and that she couldn't even remember her husband, and they'd been married since they were 18 and she's like 70 or 80. Yeah. So I don't really know how to feel, because there are a lot of negative feelings still there. If not even counting that, I haven't spoken to her for almost 3 years. I haven't spoken to her since March of 2020. It's been almost 3 years at this point, and I have not spoken to her, talked to her about anything, any of that. It's difficult to navigate because I am sad. When I first got the news, I had to stop cleaning and go sit down. I am still trying to process this. There's nothing beyond that. There's nothing beyond just like a general sadness. I know that this isn't how people feel when somebody dies. Like when someone, like a grandparent dies, typically it's like distraught, heartbroken, etc. I don't have that. I don't. And I know it's because of how our relationship has panned out. And I know that it's because of not speaking for 3 years, but at the same time, I feel like I should be sadder because she did provide a lot of good memories growing up. But I also feel like the relationship, like the current relationship, is also very important to my feeling this way. Like, especially, I don't want to get into that. It's just really confusing. It's really confusing. It's I don't want to say a lot, because by no means is it a lot. It's not, like I said, I'm probably going to go make dinner here in like 10 minutes. Like, it's not a lot to, like, it's a lot to process, especially because I just recently had like a falling out with a friend, but it's not, like, it's not devastating, you know? Like, it's not absolutely gut-wrenching. Like, I'm not gut-wrenched at all. I'm not like distraught and all of the things that people typically feel for a relative who passes. But I also wasn't close with this relative, not anymore at least. I wasn't close with her in the last 10 years. Like, yeah, we've interacted with each other. Yeah, we've lived together. Yeah, we've seen each other. But there was no like family love there, you know? More specifically in the last 3 years. More specifically the last 3 years. Because I haven't even seen her. I haven't even spoken to her in 3 years. Like, the only thing that I knew about her was through another relative telling me that her dementia was getting worse. And suggesting that I, like, reach out to her. And I was like, I don't think I want to do that because... And I told her why. And she was like, no, I understand. And I was like, yeah. Like, she literally shipped me back off to live with my abusers, my 19 plus year abusers. Like, that's not, to me, that's not forgivable. That's not something that can be forgiven. And, like, I hope she's at least now at peace, resting well. But, yeah, I want to feel more sad. Like, I feel like that's the normal response, but I haven't, it's hard to be sad, like terribly distraught for someone that you haven't seen in 3 years. And the last interaction you had with them was very negative. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I will feel more sad later. Maybe it's coming soon, but and I would like to just say, I'm sorry if I sound really monotone or like I don't care. I do care. I wouldn't be on here talking about this stuff and giving you the context of like my childhood with her and the context of why I'm not sad if I didn't care. You know, I would not be on here trying to figure out whether like I wouldn't be having this conversation. I would be having a completely other conversation. And it's just weird. It's weird. It's really weird. And then not to mention like the whole, but anyway, it's like, I'm sorry if I'm coming off really monotone or if I come off really calloused about this. Not the intent. I'm just trying to sort, I guess. But I'm probably gonna make some dinner and then edit this vlog. And then, I don't know, post it and then play some Undertale. Hey guys, it is 12:15 and I'm going to be opening one of my gifts. Okay, so I have a secret. I have been trying to open a specific one for a couple of days now. And I think this is it. It's because it would be the most useful to me right now. And like I said, I've been trying to get it for the last few days. I have failed horribly the last few days. I'm trying to not be terribly messy because I did just kind of clean. Like, I haven't completely deep cleaned, but I did tidy up a little bit. I'm still debating on whether or not I want to clean the rest tonight or if I want to wait until tomorrow because I don't know. I swear to God, if there's more styrofoam in this, I'm going to be so mad. I hate styrofoam so much. I think I did pick the right thing. Good. Perfect. Thank God. Yeah. So, it's like a little rack for inside your shower. Like I said, I've been trying to grab this one because my shower is a wreck. It's that new plastic smell. The inside of my shower is absolutely atrocious. Like, not dirty wise, but like it's just so, it's so disorganized. And I've wanted to organize my shower for days now, but couldn't because I didn't have this. And now I do. We got two little these things. I think these are like separate thingies. I might put one next to my sink. And then we have these two guys. You can't really tell, but I really like the swirls. I don't really like that they're black, but it doesn't really matter. It'll be fine in the bathroom. So I just ate dinner. I had a grilled cheese and some Pringles. I don't really have a whole lot right now. I cleaned a little bit. I played a little bit of Just Dance just because I was feeling really icky and I need to get back into the habit of exercising. So I'm hoping that by exercising tonight and doing Just Dance tonight, I will then play Just Dance tomorrow when I get up. I know that I've been having issues with getting out of bed. So I think I'm going to set my alarm again tomorrow because that's what got me out of bed today is I set my alarm for like 1 p.m. because I went to bed at like 6 last night, by the way. I'm going to set my alarm for 6 or 7 hours after I like project going to sleep so that I have therapy tomorrow, so I'm getting out of bed anyway before noon, but I still want to set the alarm. It's like a surefire I'm getting out of bed because it's on the other side of my room, and with my OCD, I can't, like once I'm out of bed, I'm out of bed. So I am going to close out this vlog. I'm still feeling very indifferent. I'm not like distraught or torn up, but I am sad. I don't feel great. I don't feel great about, my grandma dying, but I'm not torn up about it. It's not world shattering for me. I'm sad that like things couldn't have ended on better terms, but considering her opinion of me and then also her opinion of my family and what happened to me, and by my family, I mean my parents and what happened to me / what they did to me. It's hard to feel sad when somebody was so strongly against you in one of the worst things that can happen to somebody. So it's really difficult. Again, I am sad. I'm just not torn up about it. I'm not distraught. I'm not on the floor crying. I'm not devastated. I'm sad. I'm upset. I think I'm mostly sad over the fact that things didn't end on better terms, because I would have loved to have continued a relationship with my grandmother if, you know, things didn't end how they did. I wasn't going to speak to her again after that. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna close out this vlog. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry this vlog was boring, but also sad and more deep than, you know, just chit-chatting. I'm probably going to either clean the rest of the night that I'm awake, or I'm going to play Undertale. I don't know. I will probably play Undertale because I just want to chill out. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching Vlogmas Day 20, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.